took to the field with you every time you cleated up? Because I've got one.
All right, you go first.
I remember he wrote to not, once you get scored upon, don't walk back to the line. Jog back to the line, think about the next, and then rest when you're at the line. And that was something I always tried to do. If you get scored upon, don't let your teammate realize that you're tired. Jog back to the line and then move on to the next point. This is dangerous, and Colorado survives the trouble.
Yeah, these games are as much a mental battle as they are a physical battle. And if you can display strength and perseverance and confidence in the face of adversity, you don't give your opponent any advantage. If you're willing to jog back to the line with your head up, you know, other similar practices, you think about the teams like San Francisco Fury walking back to the line in their power pose, no matter what happens on the previous point.
That was a fine power pose you just did up here, Ian. Nice catch on the sideline by Tatum. Except for that one little hiccup, Colorado's handled his own defense well, but here's a prayer, and it's not going to be answered
by Ned Dick, but Villeneuve and Adeyemi are going to be instrumental in protecting the deep and the break side points of this Brown zone as Colorado tries once again to work the disc upwind.
That was just the third turnover of the game. That deep shot to Adeyemi. Colorado had been turnover free until the crossfield prayer from Tatum.
Dick coming in on one.
Wow, that was not the intended receiver. It went right through Quinn Finer's hands. Thankfully, Brunker was in the reset space. And this is basically a four-man cup right now with the mark, Talon Johnson, trying to prevent that dump. He's marking behind the disc.
And I love how aware the other defenders are. There are split seconds where you'll see the other cup defenders completely turning their back to the thrower and just trying to scan the nearby perimeter for the closest.
Years ago. And it was basically, I mean, they have so many dynamic playmakers downfield, but they kind of want to just play 3-on-3 instead of 7-on-7 in that space. And that was one of the reasons that they eventually won a gold medal.
Well, Brown may have its own flavor of implementing this three-man dominator, but, you know, Cody Johnston wrote a great piece on Ultiworld several years ago, breaking down this quote-unquote triangle offensive set, and he analyzed North Carolina dark side film to do it. But like you said, it's just growing in popularity.
Hammer into the wind, a daring shot, and it pays off.
Between the end of exams and college championships, and you're just singularly focused on preparing and bonding with your teammates.
Quickly, let's go down to Megan.
Evan, 2 points ago, Quinn Finer came off the field and mentioned about his hammer. You know, you really just have to throw the disc like a tomahawk when you're going upfield. So when you're talking about how pretty Mac Hecht is at throwing those upwind throws, you have to know in battling this wind, that's what other great throwers are saying. That's the kind of muscle you have to put behind it. So that really speaks to Hecht's finesse with the disc.
Yeah, this is a little bit more than a thrower's wind, and Hecht is shining through it. Hecht is the deep in the zone right now, and Brown thinks they had an interception. Villeneuve and Finer converse.
I heard you.
Wow. It's going back to Colorado, and it looks like the right call.
Boy, that's as close to a bang-bang as you're going to get in a receiving situation. Jonathan Monforti stepping in and providing resolution.
Taylon Johnson, part of that Brown sophomore class, continuing to be the mark in this 4-man cup, which is really making resets difficult. That's the type of throw that potential. That disc floats over Hecht and lands incomplete. Obviously, Ian, this is one of the great days of the year in the sport of ultimate, not just college. The semifinal Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, quadruple header of semis, and of course it began early this morning with the quarterfinals. Everybody dreaming of being on this stage. And coming up at halftime of this game, the Callahan Award presentation for the women's division. That's coming up at the break. Any predictions?
Hard to imagine a scenario where Jack Verjus doesn't capture that title.
With the stall count rising, this shot to the corner of the end zone tonight. There have been a lot of great players coming out of the Berkeley area these past couple of years. Now, Colorado has some Berkeley area products as well.
Connor Tabor with the disc.
Ooh. Sometimes you can forget how even the most simple catches in the wind can be a little difficult. Hecht going deep again, the disc up and down it goes, and it's caught! Great adjustment. Christopher Larson ties it up again.
It's got a 3-goal lead. And once we get to that soft cap, just a reminder for everyone, we're going to add 2 to the highest score and play to that score, even if that doesn't get us to 15.
Not going to help the Mama Bird cause with that giveaway.
The Pleiades program has that first semifinal appearance experience under the program's belt. I think they're going to be a dangerous force in the years to come.
What does Colorado have left in the tank against this Brown defense that has been spectacular? That's a tough swing, and it sails on Atkins.
Isaac Chesler, one of the older leaders on this team. Randolph's gotten the better of him earlier in this game, but he provides just enough pressure there to challenge that catch.
But a turnover on the swing, normal. And again, this one feels different, doesn't it?
Because of the team-oriented nature, and
yeah, it's been easy. I mean, none of his catches have been particularly contested. Oh, how about that? Somehow that throw would have been an artistic way for this game to end, wouldn't it?
something Brown has done so many times this season. Finish off a game with a connection between Hecht and Randolph.
And a drop near the goal line by Atkins.